न गुरोरधिकं तत्त्वं न गुरोरधिकं तपः।
Shri Gurubhyo Namaha Hari Om. Dhyayamo Dhavala-Vikunthanavatим Tejomayim Nashtikim Igdhapanga Vilokinim Dagavatim Mandaspita Srimukhim Valsalyamrita-Varshinim Samuduram Sankirtanalapinim Shamangi Madhatikta-Suktim Amritanandamayi Om Gum Gurubhyo Namaha Amriteshwari Namaha Om Gam Ganapati Namaha Om Ha Saraswati Namaha Om. My infinite prostrations at the lotus feet of my Sadguru, Sri Mata Amritanandamayi Devi, Universal Teacher, Universal Mother. My humble pranams to all Amma's beloved children watching this talk. Today the topic will be Amma, the Divine Doctor. So you may wonder why suddenly this topic of the doctor came up in this Swami's mind. That is because the last 1 month I have been to our AIMS hospital many times, not for treatment but to see some of Amma's devotees being treated there in the AIMS hospital. I came to know many things, I came to learn many things about the AIMS in this past 1 month. So I thought that we should talk directly about AIMS. After me, 2 doctors from AIMS, Dr. Brajesh and Dr. Sri Lakshmi will be speaking about after me. So we have to understand one thing. We have the greatest doctor in this world. Our Amma is the greatest doctor in this world. A doctor is one who usually, when we hear the word doctor, we think that the doctor is one who treats our body. So we have to understand that the body is connected with the mind. The mind and the body, they are connected. When the mind is disturbed, when it is anxious, we can see the reaction in the body. When the mind is very, very sad, the body also becomes weak. And therefore, the treatment is complete only when the mind is also treated with the body, and the person who can treat our mind and make our mind healthy, that is the real doctor, and that is what our Amma is doing, so that we can see. And we should also know how much our culture, the modern medicine have done wonders. When we go to the AIMS hospital and see the different types of machines and so many other equipments, we are wonderstruck how much our modern medicine, our allopathy has advanced, and how much our doctors, they have spent so much time in research. Our processions of the great doctors who have done so much of research for the benefit of mankind. So that is, we really, it's not congratulations, it's our gratitude to them. So that we can see. At the same time, we should know that in our culture also we have so much about medicine. We can see when we go to AIMS, outside we can see very great the statue of sage Shushruta. Shushruta is supposed to be the first surgeon. He had so many very sophisticated instruments by which he could cure. In the olden days, the punishments were very severe. For very small crime, sometimes the hand is cut off. So the patient, the person will take the hand and go to Shushruta. He will stitch it back again. This is what we are told. So he is such a genius, such a great person. That is Shushruta. So we say in our culture, our doctor, with the divine doctor, we say our Amma is also divine doctor. Every one of us know how she cured the leper Dattan many years back. We have also seen that. So that also I remember. So the India, the Bharat, the India's greatest contribution to the world regarding the health, physical and mental health of man, the India has contributed a lot. The India's greatest contribution is one is Ayurveda and the other is Patanjali's Yoga Sutras and Yogasanas. These are the two branches of medicine. How it can cure our physical, not only physical health but mental health also. In Ayurveda and Yogasanas also, Yogasanas can, to a great extent, it can cure our mental problems also. That also we can see. Also, in our Shastras, we usually say in our Indian languages, especially Malayalam, we say Vaidya. The doctor is called Vaidyan. So Vaidya is usually connected with Ayurvedic medicine. When we say Vaidyan, he is an Ayurvedic medicine. So for the doctor, we hear the Sanskrit word for the doctor is Bishag. We chant many of us chant the Rudram every day. Bhagwan, the hymns on the glory of Bhagwan Shiva is called Sri Rudram, and the Namakam and Chamakam. In that we see here Adhyavodat Adhivakta Pratamo Devyo Bishag. Say Adhyavodat Adhivakta Pratamo Devyo Bishag. That word is Bishag. Adhyavojat. He protects us from all diseases. He cures all diseases. And Pratamo is the first person. Devyo, divine. Pratamo Devyo Bishag. He is the protector. He is the one who cures, and he is the first dog. Pratamo Devyo Bishag. That we can see in Rudram. We also know very well how the Bodhidharma, Buddhist monk, Bodhidharma from South India, he went to China and he cured it. China had a strange kind of leprosy kind of disease. So he went there and with his herbal medicines, he taught the Chinese doctors also, and they were able to control leprosy type of medicine. Within 2 years, they were able to control. And then after that, he taught them. They were problem from the bandits, dacoits. So he taught them Kalaripaitu. That became the Kung Fu. And then finally he taught them meditation also. That is called the Zen Buddhism. That is what he has done. So the Dr. Bishak, they say in Dakshinamurti Stotram, we sannyasis, we usually Puri, Amritageetananda Puri, we are connected to the Shankaracharya order, Puri. So we do namaskara to our Guru, chanting the 10 stotras of Dakshinamurti Stotram. So that in Dakshinamurti Stotram, they say, Gurave Sarvalokanam Bishaje Bhavaroginam Nidhaye Sarvidyanam Dakshinamurtaye Namaha. Dakshinamurti is usually Shiva turning south. When he turns south, he becomes the Guru. From his divine vibrations, he sends a divine vibration to up to the south. So we say when we meditate in the early morning, we are in the late night. Usually daytime we phrase the eastern meditation, but in the late night, in the after sunset, we usually face north and we do meditation, because he say Bhagwan Shiva is sitting facing south. So facing south is called Dakshina Murti, he who sits facing south, and we receive his divine vibrations, grace. That's called Dakshina Murti. So Gurave Sarvalokanam, he is the Guru of all worlds. That means he knows all philosophies, not only Hinduism, all philosophies. He is the Acharya he is the knower of all philosophies, because all philosophies, all scriptures ultimately point to the same goal, the Chaitanyam in our heart. That's what we have say. So, Bishaje Bhavaroginam. So, Bishaje, to the doctor. Bishak is doctor. Bishaje means to the doctor. Bhavaroginam. So, those who are suffering from the roga, the disease of bhava. Bhava means this worldly existence. We are caught up in this world of worldly existence, where we are caught up by too much of the worldly desires, and in order to fulfill our desires, we waste our time and health and everything in the pursuit of worldly sense objects. So we say, in the first half of our life, we spend all our health in search of wealth. In the second half of our life, we spend all our wealth in search of health, and in the end, we lose both. This is what happens. So this is called Bhavaroga. Bhavaroga means one whose goal is only getting the objects of enjoyment, security and objects of enjoyment. That is not everlasting. Therefore, Bhavaroginam, Bishaje Bhavaroginam. I prostrate to that doctor who cures this Bhavaroga, the roga of the too much of personal likes and dislikes, the samsara. And Nidhage Sarvavidyanam. Nidhage, Nidhi means the wealth of Sarvavidyanam. From all knowledges, they say, what is the ultimate, in every knowledge, what is the main thing to be gained? That is that Paramatma only. That is the meaning of Nidhi. Nidhage Sarvavidyanam Dikshinamurtahe Namaha. So we say, unfortunately, we have neglected the study of our scriptures and our culture. We have lost so much. At the same time, we can see Buddhists, they have preserved also. So we can say, when I heard a Buddhist mantra, I had some doubt it has connection with our mantra. So the mantra goes like this. Teyatao o bekanje maha bekanje raja samud gate soha. Teyata o bekanje maha bekanje raja samud gate soha. So it means Teyata means like when in Audh Hindi we say the Sita Ram, we say Siya Ram. For Lakshmana we say Lakhan. Rama Lakshmana we say Rama Lakhan. So Sita we say Sita Ram, we say Siya Ram. That is Audh Hindi. And in Vrij Hindi also we can say for Krishna we say Kana or Kanaya. So like that, in this from Sanskrit came to Pali, that Tat Gata, one who has reached that supreme goal is called Tat Gata. That has become Teyata. Teyata o Bekanje means Bishaje. Or you are calling the O Bekanje, O great medicine master, is called the mantra of the medicine master. In Buddhism, this mantra is called the mantra of the medicine master. So medicine is say two Bekanjes are there. Teyata o Bekanje. So one Bekanje is one who cures the diseases at the physical level. But that is not enough. We have to understand, we have to cure the diseases at the mental level also. So Teyata o Bekanje. So the one who cures the diseases at the physical level and one who cures the disease at the mental level. Teyata o Bekanje, Maha Bekanje, oh great doctor. Bishak, Raja Samud Gate Soha. We look upon you as our king, and Samud Gate means his glory is as vast as Samudra. Samud Gate Soha. So he is our king. So the king whose glory is as vast as the Samudra. That is the meaning. So we have to understand this much also. So there is one incident also. Dakshinamurti is Bhagavan Shiva. So after the Shiva Parvati marriage, Shiva, the Bhagavan Vishnu himself came and made the makeup. Because Shiva Bhagavan, there is a lot of the snakes on his body and ashes alone, ashes also. The Parvati's, the mother and the other women, they became very frightened, and therefore Bhagavan Vishnu himself came and he made a beautiful the makeup of Bhagavan Shiva. So he became called as Sundaramurti. So he became or Chandrasekhara or Sundaramurti. He became very, very glamorous. So then the Himavan and his the wife, the Mayanaka, and the Parvati's family, they were very happy to see Bhagavan Shiva like this, and they were in the palace. But then sage Narada came and told this. I read this in one of the Puranic books. The sage Narada came and said, "Oh Bhagavan, Sanakadi, the great, the Sanakadi, the four brothers are there. Sanaka, Sanatana, Sananda, Sanat Kumara, four brothers. They look like small children, but they are greatest sages. They are four brothers are coming to you for your teaching. So when they see you in this form, they will not be happy, because now you look like a Raja, glamorous." So then Bhagavan Shiva, he changed his dress and he went and sat under a tree, and he looked like a Avaduta. So then when the sages came, they were very happy. So that is called the Chitram Bhattatarur Mule. I told this already once. Chitram Bhattatarur Mule Vriddha Shishya Guru Rivaha Gurostu Maunam Vyakhyanam Shishya Tuchinna Samshayaha. So we can see the picture of a banyan tree or a peepal tree, and Vriddha Shishya Guru Yuvaha. The disciples are old. That means the disciples who are spiritually mature. That's the meaning of Vriddha Shishya. They're not the old age. The disciples are spiritually mature. Only for such a person can grasp the teachings of the great spiritual master like Shiva. So Vriddha Shishya Guru Yuva. The disciples are old. That means they are spiritually mature, and Guru Yuva, the Guru is young. That means he is the changeless Atma. See, one who never becomes old means he is always young, means he is the Atma, never becomes old. It's always the changeless. And Gurostu Maunam Vyakhyanam. This is Chin Mudra, Shishyastu Chinna Samsheha. So when we go deep into meditation, the disciples can understand that the Atma is something which cannot be explained by words. Therefore, in the deep silence, the Guru made them understand it is the Chaitanyam within, that is what is called as the Dakshinamurti. We can say Amma also, Dakshinamurti, the form in the south. So our Amma is also Dakshinamurti. Saksha Dakshinamurti Suprani Namaha, we chant every day. Amma is also Dakshinamurti. So that is the type of Avaduta type of form under the tree. And Bhagavan Vishnu also we can see he is also a great doctor. So as Vishnu we can see it is Bhagavan Vishnu who came as the doctor. He is Dhanvantari, who brought out the Amrita Kalasham. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Dhanvantare Amrita Kalasha Hastaya. That's the mantra. So Bhagavan Vishnu came as the Dhanvantari. That is mainly for the physical body, to make us immortal. And as teacher, he is Dattatreya. Bhagavan Vishnu, he manifested as Dattatreya Bhagavan, and he taught spirituality even to Parashurama. Parashurama also was the disciple of Dattatreya Maharshi, and Dattatreya is the form of Vishnu. Avaduta Guru as the Vishnu as Avaduta Guru is Dattatreya, and Shiva as Avaduta Guru is the Dakshinamurti. That much as we have seen. So the main thing today I wanted to point out that we have to preserve our culture. What we have lost, the Buddhists have preserved. This mantra, Teyata O Bekanje, Bekanje, Maha Bekanje, Raja Samud Gate Soha. O Tadgata, who has reached that Supreme Being. We have one Tadgata here. Our Amma, she is the Tat-gata. She has reached that supreme state. We are very, very lucky. We praise Tadgata. Teyata O Bekanje, Bekanje. O Amma, who cures all the physical disease like leprosy, and she cures the mental leprosy like all the negative tendencies also. Maha Bekanji, oh Amma, you are the great doctor. And Raja, so we say Sri Mata, Sri Maharajji. Raja Samud Gate, so Gate, we sing your glory. Your glory is as vast as the ocean. We sing your glory. The Raja Samud Gate Swaha. We offer everything to you. So this is the most important thing. Let me see if they have, yeah, I think I have covered almost all the points. Now let us hear the two doctors from AIMS, Dr. Brijesh from the cardiology, and the Dr. Sri Lakshmi. They are both from AIMS, Amma's children. Let us hear them talk. I offer these words as Amma's lotus feet. Om Amritageetananda, Om Lokaha Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu, Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Sri Guru Bhyo Namah. Hari Om.
We have been listening to the Satsang by Sampuja Swami, Amritageetananda Puri. Now, I invite Amma's children, Dr. Brijesh PK and Dr. Sri Lakshmi, to share their thoughts. Dr. Brijesh serves as Professor of Pediatric and Adult Congenital Heart Surgery, and Dr. Sri Lakshmi serves as an Associate Professor of Anesthesiology at Amrita Hospital, Kochi.
Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Parabrahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha, Om Amriteshwari Namaha. In the Vedic literature, we know that there are lot of suktams. One of the important suktams is Narayana Suktam. Narayana Suktam is part of the Krishna Yajurveda. We know that Krishna Yajurveda is written almost 3000 years back. In the Narayana Suktam, it is written as Patnagosha Pratikasham Hridayam Cha Api Adhomukham. The heart is like a lotus bud which is turned upside down. Patnagosha Pratikasham Hridayam Cha Api Adhomukham. With the advent of modern medicine, as well as with anatomical dissection, we now know the shape of the heart and intricate details of the anatomy of the heart. Here, 3000 years back, the heart is depicted or portrayed as a bud or a lotus bud which is turned upside down. We know that in the upside down position, the tip of the lotus bud represents the apex or the tip of the heart which is facing downwards. The base of the heart is actually facing upwards. As in a lotus bud, the base of the lotus bud is much wider, and in the upturned position it is facing upwards. There is a stem of the lotus bud which actually rises from the base of the lotus bud. The stem of the lotus bud is long and winding. Similarly, the heart has a main vessel known as the aorta, which supplies the blood to the entire body. This aorta arises from the base of the heart and goes upwards in a winding course. It is really astounding that many years, or even 3000 to 4000 years back, our ancient rishis were able to portray the exact anatomy of the heart. The heart in various shlokas is often compared to the lotus. We know that the lotus actually arises from one of the very dirty environment. But once it blooms, it is an epitome of beauty as well as purity. In various languages, lotus is often compared to the most beautiful being. For example, in languages like Malayalam, the beautiful eyes are often compared to lotus. We tell it as Padmalojanam, Kamala Netram. Like this, lotus is often the symbol of beauty and purity. In our Vedic literature, in addition, lotus is the seat or the abode for the Supreme Being. In the Tantric and Vedic Puja part, it is said that Hridaya Kamala Madhye Surya Bimbasanastham, in the center of our lotus heart, shining like a resplendent sun. Hridaya Kamala Madhye Surya Bimbhasanastham Sagala Bhuvana Bijam Srishti Samharam Edum Angushtamatra Muniyo Vadanti Dhyayecha Vishnum Purusham Puranam. So in the center of our lotus heart, shining like a resplendent sun, the Supreme Being resides in the shape of our thumb. In the size of our thumb, our Supreme Being resides within our lotus heart, who is the cause of creation as well as dissolution. In summary, in our heart resides the Supreme Being, who is omnipresent, who is also there residing within our heart and shining like a resplendent sun. As a person, we feel that we are in control of everything. Most of our voluntary motion, like we move our hand, we move our leg as per our wish, and we feel that we are in total control of it. But if we dwell deeper into it, we understand that if even one of our muscle or even one of our nerve stop functioning, our hand or our leg may become totally motionless. Even we may become totally paralyzed and we may lose control of every movement in our body. So many of these movements which we say are voluntary can become involuntary or totally become out of our control. If the voluntary movements are like this, what about the involuntary movements? They are totally out of our control. The digestion which is happening, our heartbeat, our breathing, most of them are totally out of our control. So as a person, what control we have on these movements? The main aspect of our breathing, when we are sleeping, it becomes totally involuntary. So who is controlling all these motions? We need to think about it. Urdham pranam unnayati apanam pratyagashyati madhye vamanam asinam vishwadeva upasate. The breath which we take in is known as apanam and the exhale breath is known as pranam. In sleeping phase, it becomes a totally involuntary movement. So if the most important vital aspect, we know that if the breath control is stopped or if the breath stops, then that becomes the most vital event. Madhye Vamanam Asinam. So here in this sloga, the Supreme Being is depicted as a Vamanam which resides within our body. We know that Vamanam means the dwarf person. It also means the most adorable person. So within us, the divine doctor or the divine Supreme Being, our beloved Amma, whom the Vishwadeva upasade, whom the entire Devas worship, reside within us. When our heart is diseased, sometimes it may require an operation. When a heart operation is required, we often go to a cardiac surgeon for operation. The cardiac surgeon looks at the patient and then tells him the prognosis. He usually, if sometimes as a surgeon, I can vouch that many a time what we say may not be what the end result is. We may look at the patient and may sometimes say that the operation is very simple. The patient can have a smooth course and recover, and then after the operation sometimes these patients may go through lot of complication and may have a poor outcome. Sometimes we look at the patient and tell them that it is quite risky. The patient can have a prolonged ICU stay and there could be a lot of complications. But after the operation, we see that these patients sometimes can have a smooth recovery and can go out of the hospital within few days. So, as surgeons, we perform the operation, but we are unable to predict the outcome 100%. This is because as surgeon, we only have knowledge about what to do. It is not what we decide the outcome. The outcome is decided by the Supreme Being who reside within us. They, as said earlier, the Supreme Being which resides within us, our beloved Amma, who is there within us, it is the Kripa or it is the vision or the decision of the Supreme Being as well as our karma which together decides the outcome. So, as a person, what do we have? We have only, our only respite is to have the full Sharanagati to the Supreme Being who resides within us. Ananda Samsara Samudratara Naugabidabhyam Guru Bhaktidabhyam Vairagya Samrajya Tabujanabhyam Namo Namah Shri Guru Padugabhyam.
Om Amriteshwari Namaha. My humble pranams at the lotus feet of our beloved Amma. I've been given this opportunity to talk to you about the marvel of human body. Like as Swamiji had said in his discourse some time back, and to share my experience and probably my views on it. So I must start with the fact that I'm also learning like everyone else, and I'm just going to put forth my experiences as a doctor. And one thing when Swamiji said about how astonishingly perfect the human body is, what it reminded me is of my HOD of anatomy. Her name's Dr. Grace Chandy, and she's one of the most incredible teachers I have ever met. And the first thing that was taught to us, and anatomy is one of the basic courses, and it's the first one of the first lessons that we learn as in our journey as to becoming a doctor. One thing that first thing that ma'am said is about how marvelous and how perfect the human body is, so much that it's unbelievable. Like everything, like the example that she said is in our neck we have these great vessels, very large vessels, which in which the blood is going in two different directions. She said, just said, what if they, they made so much noise, and it kept going up and down, and so everything is made so perfect. That was just one example of it. And the millions of neurons in your body signaling the right kind of signals, and the moment you have a hurt, how the blood cells come together and then just form a clot, and it stops bleeding, and how the healing process itself, like you have a hurt somewhere, your body heals on its own and everything. So from the right from the beginning, even from the concept, like the whole conception or the inception of like a human, how the two cells come together to form a zygote, and then it develops into a multi-cellular organism and a complicated and highly complex being called a human being. So everything right from the start, from where the life is created, if you can just see marvel and God in everything. So that's how my teacher started anatomy with, and it made a lot of sense, because when you start looking at the human body itself, you just can't stop to think, somebody must have made this. It just can't happen like that. It's too perfect to be just happening out of the blue. So then that come there is where you think about, if you have a creation, then obviously you should have a creator. So if the creation is so beautiful and perfect, so you just the quality or what you the creator that you're talking about is probably the unfathomable perfect being. So, according to our scriptures, the perfect being is nobody but Bhagavan. That's how even Bhagavatam describes as the perfect being is Bhagavan himself, and he is the one who is the creator of everybody and anything else. So, so that's one part of what Swamiji was talking about how the creation is, and then there's a concept of the creator and the creation, and how both of it is not different. And like how, like Swamiji's example was the doctor being a human, the patient is also human. There's nothing different between the doctor and human, but one person is given the task of healing, and the other person is ailing. But anyways, so even in expert examples from Amma's discourses also tells it there is no difference between the creator and the creation. It's like the gold ornaments. You have a earring, a chain, but they're all made of gold anyway. So that's like the basic. Finally, it comes down to the fact that everyone is equal and everyone is one, but in different forms. So that's how I understood it as. And then Swamiji was talking about the nature of the body, how our body is perishable. It can leave, like we can die any moment actually. There's no, so what you have currently with yourself is the present, and past, as Amma always says in all her discourses, past is a cancelled check. You cannot live on in the past. You just have to let it go. And future, you have no idea what's going to happen in the future. So the present is what you have, and you make the most of what you have at present. So being a doctor, I'm exposed to so many families that come. So I work in the pediatric cardiac unit. So I see a lot of children with congenital heart disease. They're born with those defects, and most of the parents are newlyweds. Maybe they're firstborn, or children, or they would have not had a child for a long time, and it's a precious child. We've seen so many problems like that. So one thing is that when you see so many children with such diseases, and the parents' agony that comes along with it, one thing that I feel is that how grateful I would be to be having healthy children, or how grateful I am to be a part of being, let's say, like even giving comfortable or giving comfort to those parents. So those are things that I'm very grateful for to Amma, because this particular job that I'm doing is was given to me by my guru, Mata Amritanandamayi Devi, and I'm very grateful for her for this job. And so in my work, what we I realized is that most times people don't really need too much of a, like, it's not about money or big things. It's mostly about small things like smiling, giving a couple of comfort words, sitting down with them. So there was a time when we had this emergency baby who came from Maldives, and baby was in a moribund situation, and I happened to be the anesthetist for that case, and I received the child. So I don't remember this talking to the parents part, but I did, and then we took the child for the surgery and got it done as an emergency. And after that, the child got well, and then was about to be discharged when the parents came and spoke to me. They said, "Doctor, you have made such a big difference when you spoke to us." And I was telling them that I don't even remember telling you in anything in particular, because I would have done that for anyone anyway. But they said those comforting words when we were so desperate made so much of a difference to us. And they actually painted a picture of me as well as my teammates, and had written very nice words, and gave us as a gift all that. So so being a doctor needn't necessarily always, we don't have to make big things, like even little things like talking to patients and everything makes a big difference to them, to help them get through whatever they're going through. So another thing Swamiji was talking about was about the comparison of the sterile area in our OT, and how only certain people are allowed in it. So sterility. So I would like what I could think of in this context is that being sterile means you clean. So we kind of have the sterile area in our OR's operating rooms, and so certain procedures require sterile precautions. So we clean our hands properly so that we don't infect our patient. So the same way, while like when we are born with a human body, our purpose of life is to attain realization, but that's like a very abstract kind of term which not everybody might accept or understand. So more than that, why we are born for is so that we can help others as much as we can, and not to harm, I would say. And purpose of life again would mean to attain that final goal, which is in terms of our scriptures, it would be like how you don't see the difference between yourself and some other person, and how you see other people's problem as your own, where there is no two and it's just one, or concept of duality is not there, and the advaitam where everything is one. But so for that, I would say, like, I'm also just learning. I'm just in the process of it, and all I do is what I can just share with you is what I do, and what I feel is the best and easiest way for that attainment is to follow our guru's words exactly the way it is. And so for me, it is very easy because I have my Sadguru, Srimata Amritanandamayi Devi, who's told me very clearly what to do. She has given me this particular job, and I am very fortunate to be able to love and do the job to as much as I can, to my abilities. And so so the that's one thing that we can do. You have a guru, you can follow exactly what your guru has asked you to do without really thinking about it, and just go ahead and do, because they're the ones who know your vasanas, your tendencies, and would advise you the best, so that you progress in your life, both spiritually as well as in the material world, and you're able to tackle your everyday problems. And one thing I would like to tell the probable present generation and the coming doctors is having the attitude of gratitude. So this is again all from Amma's satsangs, and what I felt was very practical, because when you have an attitude of gratitude, when you are thankful for everything that you have in your life, um, things just become very less complicated, I would say. And also we should try and let go of anything that's holding you back, because past is a cancelled check, and just let it go, and then you just have this moment, and then try and make the most out of it, and do no harm to others, and having the attitude of gratitude. I think that would really help us move forward and tackle the problems that we face every day in our material life. Namaskar.
न गुरोरधिकं तत्त्वं न गुरोरधिकं तप